Ever since I reverted to Islam, I've gotten so much support from Muslims, and it's amazing. Alhamdulillah, the Muslims have been so supportive. But all of a sudden, Christians, everything that I see and associate with them is full of hate. On every single one of my social media platforms, they're always hating. They're not even spreading love. And I started to do a deep dive. I started to look into this. If you go online and you look up any Islamic influencer, go watch their videos and you'll just see Christians hating, hating, hating. Then go look up a Christian influencer. You don't see any hate comments from people who are Muslims. And that was very interesting to me because I was like, why is that? Why is one religion hating on the other so much and the other religions not hating at all? And it bothered me. It bothered me a lot because it's such a bad example for religion. Like I think anytime I do, every once in a while I'll see a Muslim comment something and say something rude. It's like, you're representing our entire religion. If someone doesn't know anything about Islam and they see a Muslim comment something bad, they're gonna go, oh, that's how all Muslims are. And that's what's happening with Christianity. I never really had a problem with Christianity. I have friends who are Christian. I've met so many great Christians, but as soon as I chose to be public about me being a Muslim, it was like the whole thing changed. My comment section on Instagram is people saying, I worship, a pedophile. I'm gonna burn in hell forever. I deserve to die. It doesn't really make any sense, right? There's a total difference in my mind if you comment and go, hey, I totally think you're wrong. I hope that Jesus finds you. Astaghfirullah, right? But it's totally different if they said that. Like I got a message the other day from a brother and he was giving me some advice on something I posted was slightly wrong. And he didn't go and get on me. He's like, hey, respectfully this. And he mapped it out for me. He told me it. And it's like, that's what we should be doing as all religions. And I feel Muslims do a great example of that. But Christians, no. It doesn't make any sense. Does anybody get it? It's like, where's the hate come from? I know in the Quran, it says that they're not blind in the eyes, they're blind in the heart and the ears. Or no, they're not blind in the ears and the eyes, they're blind in the heart. I believe that's what it is. So I get sometimes it's just ignorance. But it makes me think and it makes me feel bad for these people. Because what do they have to be going through in their life to feel the need to put so much negativity on somebody else? Example being, you're scrolling on your phone. What has to be in your mind for you to stop and want to write a paragraph about how bad of a person someone is that you don't even know, strictly because they have a different religious belief than you? Blows my mind. Caveat, guys, this isn't like oh, woe is me, people are hating on me. It doesn't bother me at all. Hate comments don't bother me at all. It just makes me sad for those people. And it makes me think, that's not what Jesus did. That's not what Jesus did at all. Doesn't Jesus say, love thy neighbor? Do unto those as what you want done unto you? Isn't that from Jesus? I don't understand it. And that's what turned me away from Christianity so much, was the fact that they have a religion that's amazing. If you take out the idol worship, it's very similar to Islam. And if you follow Christianity and you actually follow it, you'll be a great person. But what I tend to notice is so many people just aren't even following Christianity, which is sad because America, where I grew up, was a Christian nation, and we were run by morals, and we had respect for each other, and that's gone. When I go to Saudi, when I go to the UAE, there's respect. When you shake someone's hand, there's respect. That doesn't exist in America anymore because the religion that it was built on is no longer feared, it's no longer respected, and it no longer holds any weight, which kills me. It hurts. Because if they could just actually follow their book, religions could coexist so much better. I see it, maybe I'll make another video, I see it with Hinduism and Islam too. They argue with each other all the time. It's like, let me ask you this. If we had an entire Christian nation following their book, following the teachings of Jesus, which, side note, doesn't even make sense. Book's not even about Jesus. And then you had an entire Muslim nation following the Quran. And both of them actually followed their book to a T. They did everything that you're supposed to do. Would we have a bunch of religious conflicts? I don't think we would. I don't think we would. I think the only reason we have so much religious conflicts is because the Christians are not following their book. So they're doing everything that doesn't even align with what they're supposed to be doing. I hope I'm not crazy for thinking that, but it's what I truly believe. And it makes it so hard to find a good Christian. I've met like 5 in my life out of thousands of Christians. But the majority of Muslims, not all Muslims, people are sinners, people have their problems, but the majority of Muslims that I meet are amazing people. And I think that if we can just find a way to get people following their religion again, side note, if Christians followed their religion, they'd probably become Muslim, but that's a different note. But if they could follow their religion again, I think we would solve the majority of the problems we have right now. Because where is the majority of the problems in the modern world coming from? It's coming from the UK, it's coming from America, it's coming from Canada, and these were Christian nations. That doesn't exist anymore. Is the problems coming from the UAE? No, it's not. And where do we have all of this prostitution, all of this gambling, all of this alcoholism, all of this sin, all of these forbidden things? Where is that coming from? It's coming from America. And America was at one point the greatest Christian nation. So I say this to all the Christians out there. Why are you guys failing your religion? Why are you letting down your religion? You should have higher standards. I see you attack each other as well in Christian comments. I'll check a comment section on an Instagram post. No Muslims are hating. The only people hating on each other is Christians. And they're so judgmental. I don't get it. Isn't like one of the biggest parts of Christianity not to judge people? And all that I have in my mind is how much they judge people. It makes me genuinely sad. Because one of my best friends is Christian. And why this is such a soft or hard, whatever type of topic for me, is because he's a great dude. He follows his religion. We have conversations. Maybe I should do a podcast with him. That would be awesome. And he follows his book. And we, with different religious views, completely coexist perfectly. And we get along. Because I follow my book, he follows his book. The only time there's conflict is when someone doesn't follow their book. And I wasn't a born Muslim. So I feel I have a very good way of looking at this without having a biased viewpoint, right? It's like I think strongly, if you grow up with a religion, you're inherently always going to be biased towards that religion. Because you were told from childhood that it's what you have to believe. So you don't even want to test it, right? But I was raised an atheist with my father's side Christian and my mother's side Mormon. So I got 3 perspectives. And then I discovered Islam when I was 19 years old. So it's not like I grew up a Muslim and I'm trying to justify everything about being a Muslim. I learned about Christianity before Islam. But Islam just makes more sense. So when I'm saying all this, it's not me trying to stand up for Islam and say, oh, we're right, you're wrong. It's me analyzing all religions that coexist and saying a lot of the problems that we have right now is because the Christian nations have failed. And that's just true. The Christian nations are no longer what they used to be. The power of the Bible no longer exists. People are not following their books. A statistic showed that 43% of Americans are Christian, but they don't follow the book. You know how many claim to be Christian? It's like 70% in America. But 43% say they're practicing and they don't follow their book. Like it's so hard to find. I see people wearing a cross at a club. How are you doing that? That's like carrying your Quran into a strip club. Like how has the religion gotten to that point? Can somebody explain that to me? I don't get it. I think the world would be better if Christians practiced. I'm not saying everybody should become a Muslim. Allah is the best of planners. He has a plan. He already has it mapped out. Obviously, I'd love if everybody became a Muslim. But if everybody just followed their religion, it doesn't even matter. Say it's Hinduism, Judaism. If you just followed your religion, we would coexist so much better. And the world would be a better place. Christians, do better. Follow your book because your book is good. There's good teachings in there. There's amazing things to learn. Do better.